Alright, you guys, welcome back to another video. We are joining you guys outside on the porch today because, yeah, we thought it would be a nice change of pace. It is a gloomy day, but the rain has stopped and it's just nice out here.
It's stopped for now, and there's no wind, which is a
Yes.
rare occasion here. So
Yeah, we've been beaten by the wind a lot lately, so we're utilizing some nice fresh air today for our Thursday chit chat with you guys. We don't really have a name for this Thursday series yet, but this is our second video. If you guys want to help us come up with a name we could call this, let us know.
let's hear some of y'all's thoughts on names.
Yeah.
It'd be cool.
Let us know. The main purpose of these videos is for us to kind of share and hopefully relate with you all things that are heavy on our hearts or that we are, I guess, exploring throughout the week.
Yeah, and just life in general.
Yeah.
Like how, I don't know, like different things that we've realized over the past like 6 months.
Yeah.
Really, because before that we knew kind of what we wanted, but we never really took the leap to do it.
Yeah.
As far as our faith goes, we never actually committed to it. And we're going to share a little bit of that with y'all and kind of our views on what society deems as the right thing to do and the things society wants you to chase. And my eyes have been open. I think our eyes have been opened over the last 6 months as to what's actually important, and all the hustle and bustle that society deems as what we're supposed to be doing isn't necessarily the right thing to be doing.
Watch your hands.
Oh yeah.
If you don't know what we're talking about, go watch last week's video, yeah. Mr. Fish.
That was right in the same region, the old nether region.
Building on what Andy just said, I think that the things that we're going to talk about are things that we've learned through life challenges and experiences, whether it be people, places, industries.
All the above.
Yeah, and with our newfound faith especially, it really puts everything into perspective of why we were feeling the way that we were feeling, or
100%.
I think a person's moral compass tells you a lot more than you give it credit for, but having the word of God now to back up those feelings even more for truth is like really empowering, and it
validates those feelings that you're, at least I was confused about why I was feeling the way I was feeling.
Yeah.
And it was like a vicious cycle of the same thing.
Like we'll tell you more about personal experiences that we've had, but I think too that it can spawn things of like anger and resentment towards ways of the world where you don't understand that that is the way that the world is. It's programmed to be driven by things that are not of God.
And it's so easy to, once you start chasing something, whatever that may be for you, it's different for everybody, but we're going to share our personal experiences. But regardless of what you're chasing, you get so focused on whatever that is that you totally lose sight of the bigger picture. At least that's what happened to me, and I'm sure that happened to you some as well. But all right, so I will just relate this to my life. And so at age like 25, I've grown up fishing. That's what I wanted to do with my life, and I found kind of a avenue to do that, and I started working for a fishing company in the bass fishing world. And I got a lot of opportunities thrown my way as far as getting to deal with the fishing industry. And I thought that was like the greatest thing life could possibly throw at me. So I ran to it and started fishing and working for the company. And I got to travel the country. I got to fish all over the country. But the more that I got involved in that industry, the more that I got into that industry and fishing the tournaments, the more I got to see of like what the industry and the fishing community was actually about. And my dreams of being on the Bassmaster Elite Series, I got to be around it all the time. I got to see what it looked like once you actually got there, and it wasn't at all what I thought it was going to be. And a lot of the people that were fishing the Opens and on the Elite Series did a lot of shady, bad things to get there, and I saw that, and it made me feel terrible for the most part. I mean, and getting to look behind the curtain at the people that ran the companies, the people that ran the organizations, and the fishermen that fished these events, it just was the bigger picture for me was it pulled me away from even thinking about Jesus. And I completely lost sight of what was actually important in life, chasing those trophies. And the biggest thing for me was having people look at me like I was a professional or I was a better fisherman than everybody else. Like I was looking at it for the what's the
ego.
Yeah, definitely feeding the ego, but it was like to be noticed.
Recognition.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah. I was looking for the recognition of other people, and I started to get that, and it became addictive to me. Like it really became addictive, and once I got to see behind the curtain of where I wanted to go, it wasn't at all what I thought it was going to be. And not once did I take a step back and be like, you know, thank God for the opportunities that I was given. I was just solely focused on my ego and greed and recognition from other people. And it honestly took Heidi coming into my life for me to look at it from a different angle, because she was an outsider, not complete outsider, but she was an outsider looking into my situation. And she was like, this is not what you think it is, because I was so invested in it in every part of my soul I was. And now looking at it, it was a cesspool, to be honest with you. The lying, the cheating, the stealing, it's a dirty game. And
One of the most mind-blowing things for me, that when I kind of walked into that whole thing, seeing you from the outside, fishing the tournaments in the tournament world of bass fishing, I was blown away with how everything revolved around money. Everything was money driven, and I remember I kept thinking, like, the reason we fell in love with fishing in the first place was because, like, the simple stuff, fishing with worms, fishing with live minnows. As a little kid with our parents or our grandparents, and like that was totally missing. It was about electronics, ads, sponsored this, wrapped boat that like it was. I was blown away.
And it's pitched to you when you're starting that is that's what you want, and that's all ego, greed, and recognition of other people. Which, I mean, I had to take a step back, and now that we have found our faith and we've had all these experiences, it's a blessing to be where we're at now. I mean, to be able to look at it and be like, you think you're doing the right thing because society tells you you are. Your friends all think you're cool. You have the recognition of everybody. Your ego's fed. Everything feels good, but you're running so far away from what the Bible actually says that you should be focusing on. So for that, I'm thankful. For sure.
Being a female in the fishing industry is a interesting experience. It definitely warrants a lot of, like, attention, because I guess it's not your average Joe fishing. But the things that I experienced when I was trying to start my fishing lure business, when I was hand making lures, and I thankfully got to the point where I was selling way more than I could make. So I started reaching out to some manufacturers that were really high up in the fishing world, like people that I had heard of since I was a little kid. And it's like, oh my gosh, I got to talk to these people on the phone, and this is so cool. Like, I looked up to them so much. And my experience, long story short, was that I ended up sending some of my like sketches and some ideas that I had for uh, baits that I wanted made on a larger scale to sell, and they took them. I actually had to sign an NDA from them, which should have been a red flag, but
Yeah.
I was so young back then.
Yeah.
I didn't know, and I was just so excited that they were honestly giving me the time of the day. So I ended up not working with them because it was pretty expensive to get the baits made. And about a year later, I remember being at iCast. This was the last time I was there, and I saw one of the big bait names. I'm not gonna drop names because I don't want to get sued, which I'm sure could happen.
I've been threatened quite a few times.
Yeah. But yeah, I saw the #1 new bait of the year was a bait that I had sent a sketch to this company, and I did the research to find out that this brand, this company that put that new bait out, got their baits manufactured from the place I sent my sketches to.
Yep.
Another story from an iCast I went to, like walking in there for the first time. I remember I was like a kid on Christmas. Yep. It was so cool to see all the names of these big companies that you used, like to take a bag of worms and see that name, and then go and see the people who run it.
Yeah.
It was so cool until it wasn't.
Exactly. Yep.
But some of them are really good people. But I just remember a veil was lifted from me when I was walking around, and there was a guy just kind of saying hey to everybody, and he comes up to us and he says, find out he was the owner of a mystery tackle box guy, inventor, owner. And he literally said, I can't believe how many people are inviting me to go fishing. It's insane. I don't even like to fish. And my brain melted. I was like, wait a minute. So all of these people don't really love, not everyone here has that love to fish. They're just for money.
Money, baby.
They're business owners. They're corporations. Yep. Now everything is owned by corporations there for the most part. Yep. It was just so eye-opening that it was a dirty money game.
Yep.
And that's exactly what steals the joy out of things like fishing.
Yes, completely strips it all away.
But all of that needed to happen, I guess, because otherwise we could both still be going down that rabbit hole. But I mean, I think it takes a certain type of moral compass and
it does.
A good person to halt the brakes somewhere and be like, whoa. I could share one more story too. I'll try to simplify it, but social media as a whole, I definitely got wrapped up in just the darkness of it. I think I've changed so much for the better, but it was really easy with, like, when I started social media, Instagram, and before YouTube, I had Instagram, and it was just kind of like peaking. So it was kind of a blessing that I was starting at that time, but the influence of what was normalized kind of happened during my college years, where everything was like so normal for sin to be so prevalent.
In your face,
Yeah. So looking back at those years, like when I had coffee yesterday with a friend from church, I was telling her how I like wish I could go back and redo a lot of the years from that time, where I wish I had found Jesus sooner. I wish that I hadn't made so many mistakes of like not upholding specifically, I guess, the respect for my own body and image that I was portraying online. I wish that I could do that, but at the same time, you have to go through certain lows to look back and see the contrast of the two lives.
You have to.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of darkness in social media, and it's one of those things. It's a double-edged sword.
It is. It is.
But there's also a lot of beauty because, like, we're trying to share positivity. The growth that I've gone through, like, I really just think that I didn't know any better when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
I was naive, and some of the things that I've gone through with, like, stalkers and You've been through too. We
yeah.
we have been through with
Yes,
stalkers.
firsthand.
Has opened my eyes to how much evil there is.
All right, you guys. So we're gonna do a little public service announcement on some fake accounts that are starting to pop up on YouTube that are titled Your Way Living as well. I guess we want to come up with something to where y'all will know this is the actual video, this is the actual channel, and
yeah. And we're not sure what that's going to be.
Yeah, not yet.
But just know that we do not privately message any of you. We don't ask for money. We don't have WhatsApp. We don't have Telegram.
Yeah.
Just be very aware that there are scammers out there that if they're talking to you saying that they're in a relationship with you, it is a lie, and we would never ask you for money. It's getting really scary with the AI being able to copy voices and faces, so just be wary that that's not real.
We have both experienced a lot of things to get to this point, and now that we're at this point, we can look back at those things and not be ashamed of them, but we can just look at the growth that we have achieved over the last few years. So with that being said, we both found a verse in the Bible that we're going to read you guys that pertains to what we've been talking about, how the idols of this world and the things that we chase can just take over our lives completely, and we lose sight of this, which we both did for a long time. So I'm going to read you guys Romans 12:2, and it's basically describing everything that we've talked about as far as, your idols and the things that you chase in this world. So it says, don't copy the behavior and customs of this world, but let God transform you into a person by changing the way you think. You will learn to know God's will for you, which is good and pleasing and perfect. And I want to say, don't copy the behavior and customs of this world, but let God transform you into a person by changing the way you think. And I can say personally that has absolutely changed in the last 6 months, more so in the last month or two. It's changing the way that I look at things, and the I guess my aperture is widening.
Ooh, that's a big word.
And I'm just beginning to look at things differently, and it's giving me peace of mind. So that's a big one to me.
Yeah.
If you give yourself to Jesus, you will slowly start to change the way that you think and look at things around you.
I think it's such a blessing that, yes, it took us to this point to get to where we are, but some people never find that.
No.
So we're still young, and we have so much life left to live.
Hopefully.
Yes.
You never know.
Okay, so Peter 1:14. Mine's pretty short, but it's straight to the point.
Let's hear it.
As obedient children, do not conform to the evil desires you had when you lived in ignorance.
That's beautiful.
That pretty much sums it up as to what we've been talking about, and it really is like an ignorance that veil has been lifted to see kind of the way that this world offers you all of these things, but you have to sacrifice the truth to get those things.
Yep.
And they're not truly fulfilling. They're not.
No. Nope.
They're not truly fulfilling.
No, we both realize that.
Yeah.
They're not fulfilling at all.
For you know that it was not with perishable things such as silver or gold that you were redeemed from the empty way of life handed down to you from your ancestors, but with the precious blood of Christ, a lamb without blemish or defect. Now that you have purified yourselves by obeying the truth, so that you have sincere love for each other, love for one another deeply from the heart. You have been born again, not of perishable seed, but of imperishable, through the living and enduring word of God.
Love it.
Hopefully a lot of you all can relate, because we are all here on this earth together, and we all experience things in different ways, but the message is pretty clear that the way that this place is set up to make you chase a lot of the wrong things.
Yes.
So
100%.
Yeah.
Well said.
This place.
Well said. Well, we hope you guys enjoyed the video, and y'all make sure to like and subscribe and drop a comment down below on what we should call these Thursday talks, because we really enjoy them, and we hope y'all get something out of them. So
yep, and we'll see you on Sunday at 6 p.m.
Yep.
Y'all stay tuned.